Please help us out by picking up any trash that is in your area. Our maintenance and custodial crews have worked hard at getting the HHS campus looking great, and we need your help in keeping it that way. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad you came out tonight to share in this momentous occasion. We would like to remind you to turn off your cell phone as it will interfere with our wireless microphone system. Thank you for your cooperation.
stay without the boot. Cut me some slack.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to ask you to stand and face the American flag as we begin our graduation ceremony by honoring America with the playing of the national anthem. You may be seated. Good evening. What a beautiful evening to come together to recognize and celebrate the tremendous accomplishment these young men have attained. It is my privilege to welcome each of you to the 2018 Hannibal High School graduation ceremony. My name is Susan Johnson, Superintendent for the Hannibal School District. It is my great honor to be a part of this special occasion. I extend a special welcome and thanks to the relatives of each of these graduates. A parent who has a student graduating here this evening, I can relate to the special pride and emotion parents and other family members feel tonight as they watch their graduates walk across this stage and collect their high school diploma. Throughout the school year, there are many special events to publicly recognize the many of our students possess, but none is as significant as this ceremony. Graduates, you are the guest of honor tonight. This is your mission, the ultimate finale to your educational experience, in which you have acquired the knowledge and skills necessary to begin your life as an adult. I encourage you to sit back and take it all in, for this will be a memory that you will never forget. Everyone that you see in this stadium came here this evening to show their love and support as you reach another milestone in your life and begin your new journey as an adult. Before we go any further, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the individuals who are seated on this platform before you. First, the members of the Hannibal Board of Education. President of the Board, Mr. Mark Bross. Vice President of the Board, Mr. Michael Holliday. Treasurer of the Board, Mrs. Linda Clark. Board Member, Mrs. Janelle Lee. Board Member, Mrs. Christina Booth. Board Member, Mr. Justin Parker. And Board Member, Mr. Blaine Mundell. We deeply appreciate the dedication and commitment of these members of the school board who are committed to our students' ultimate success in this school district. Second, I'd like to introduce the Central Office Administration Team. Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Mrs. Maria Mundell. Assistant Superintendent for Student Services, Mr. Darren Powell. Business Manager, Mr. Rich Stilley. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce our principal of Hannibal High School, Mr. Ted Sampson. Our student speakers this evening are Grace McIntosh and Nathan Luton. I will introduce them more formally in a few minutes. This evening, I look out at the sea of red and black. Young men and women ready to greet the future, knowing that the possibilities are limitless. Graduates, you are now prepared to go on to life beyond Hannibal High School. It is indeed gratifying to see that you have matured and prepared, ready to tackle the challenges that lie ahead as you seek and welcome the changes that await you. At this time, I'd like to ask any parents or family members of any of these graduates to stand and be recognized. Congratulations. Although this evening is dedicated to our graduates, this is also a special time for you, and we are grateful that you are here to show your love and support yet again. The day you become a parent, your life changes. Everyone warned you this will happen, and it's true. This experience is emotional in a way that feels scary and exciting at the same time. 18 years later, parents feel as emotional on high school graduation day as they did the day their child came into their life, maybe even more emotional. Regardless of how much you know it is coming, graduation day catches us off guard. Tonight, my daughter Kailee will walk across the stage and get her high school diploma, and while she prepares for pomp and circumstance with excitement, I face it with a strange, difficult-to-explain feeling. I wonder if other parents feel as I do. Graduates, your parents developed you, encouraged you, picked you up when you fell down, and loved you unconditionally. I hope that each graduate will take time to express to their parents, grandparents, and other family members the gratitude you feel for their support. Graduates, your achievement also gives meaning to the work of all of the adults in the Hannibal School District. Seated on the field, I'd like to acknowledge the Hannibal School District Administrative Team and the Hannibal High School Department Chairs. I want to take this opportunity to thank the teachers who have had a significant impact on you. Also, thanks to the administrators, counselors, secretaries, paraprofessionals, custodians, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, coaches, and other caring and committed employees who have helped give you the best schools possible and supported your learning opportunities. At this time, I'd like to ask any Hannibal School District faculty and staff to stand and be recognized. Congratulations to you on this very special occasion. Congratulations, graduates. As your superintendent, I have the honor of leaving you with some parting words. Now that you have successfully shown that you are ready to begin your life as an adult, you have responsibilities to both yourself and others. You have a responsibility to use all of your knowledge, skills, and talents in a way that will make a positive difference in this world. You can't simply sit back, blame or ridicule others, or expect someone else to take responsibility for the wrongdoings of the world. Stephen Covey, the founder of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, uses a simple quote that I love and think of often. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. After all, the people crazy enough to think they can change the world are usually the ones who do. Graduates, I urge you to yourself and reflect upon this question. How am I going to make a positive difference in this world? You may think that you don't have what it takes to make a difference. You may believe only people like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, and the likes are capable of making a difference. The truth is, every one of us is put in this world to contribute and make a difference to the world in our own unique way. It need not be anything out of the world. It just needs to be something you do with the intention of doing good. Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Each of these graduates have so much to offer this world. You only have to believe that whatever you do, wherever you go, you each have the ability to make a positive difference. I believe in you. Those sitting in this stadium believe in you. We can't wait to see the difference each of you are going to make. Always remember that at the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. To the class of 2018, I wish you luck as you go on your way. I trust you make the most of the opportunities you have been given. With the knowledge you have gained in school over the past 13 years, with the guidance of your family, and with wonderful friendships you have made, I am confident you will find success and happiness. Congratulations to the Hannibal High School class of 2018. Now it is my honor and privilege to introduce our student speakers. Our first speaker tonight is Grace McIntosh. Grace is the daughter of Carolyn McIntosh and the late Robert McIntosh. Grace will be attending Central Methodist University in the fall and majoring in marine biology. Grace will compete on the Central Methodist University soccer team and the Central Methodist University Eagle Envy dance team. Grace has earned the following scholarships: Central Methodist University Eagle Elite Scholarship, Central Methodist University Academic Scholarship, Central Methodist University Dance Scholarship, Business Women of Missouri State Scholarship, Earl Collins Kiwanis Foundation Scholarship, Elks Lodge Most Valuable Student Scholarship, Evening Kiwanis Andy Zambellis Memorial Scholarship, Hannibal J.C. Scholarship, Mary Ann St. Clair Hannibal High School Booster Club Scholarship, LZ Chapter PEO Scholarship, Butch Wilson Memorial Scholarship, Earlyburg Kiwanis Hugh Yount Memorial Scholarship, George and Hazel Barber Memorial Scholarship, Hannibal High School Student Council Red Cross Blood Drive Scholarship, Oakwood Elementary Scholarship, Virginia Allen Endorf Scholarship, FBLA Hannah Wathen Memorial Scholarship. Grace has also earned the following honors: Summa Cum Laude, President's Education Award, College Preparatory Certificate, George Washington Carver Award, Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizen Award in 2018, Anatomy 1 Student of the Year 2017, Hannibal High School Student of the Month, Hannibal High School Student of the Year, Missouri Girls State Representative, Mahan Oratory Contest Winner 2016, Rotary Youth Leadership Academy Representative 2016, member of the winning Champ Clark Bridge Design Team, Universal Dance Association All-American, Joseph Baldwin Academy attendee 2014 and 15, Distinguished Young Women of Missouri Contestant 2018, Future Business Leaders of America District and State Competitor 2015-2018. Grace has also participated in the following clubs and sports: National Honor Society, Natural Helpers, Student Council for 4 years, Key Club member, Interact member, Hannibal JC's member, Hannibal High School Class of 2018 Treasurer, National Technical Honor Society, Future Business Leaders of America, Pre-Medical Professionals Club, Volunteer for Special Olympics, Transformers Project Anti-Violence Education, Sparkle Squad All-Inclusive Dance Team Captain. She's been varsity soccer for four-year letter winner and captain for 17 and 18, Glitter Girls Dance Team 3-year letter winner, Dancer of the Year and captain. And Grace has also worked at the Mississippi Mine Trap Escape Room since it opened in April. Wow, that's a lot of accomplishments. It is my honor to introduce Grace McIntosh.
In this very spot, there have been football games, soccer games, dances, walkouts, and even classes. But today in this spot, I am challenged to deliver a commencement speech. Over the last few weeks, I have reflected and pondered over what exactly I would say. I spent numerous nights scrambling to find the words to say, blocked by the thoughts that I would say something wrong. Not until the night that Miss McCullom and I worked well past midnight in her office did I realize what I wanted to tell my fellow graduates. In that moment, I decided that the speech was never going to happen and I would be better off as a hobo. To her dismay, I would not be a hobo because Mama wouldn't be happy. And as the saying goes, if Mama ain't happy, then nobody's happy. So let me start by saying, thank you, Mama, for being the driving force behind me, pushing me to success. Thank you to my brother Nigel for always being better at everything than me, but also motivating and helping me to be my best. Thank you, board members, for providing a safe and stable sanctuary for learning. Thank you, Mrs. Johnson, for guiding our school to a vision of excellency and improving our senior pranks. Thank you, Mr. Sampson, for playing into our senior prank week and smiling at me when you don't for most people. I'd like for everyone to see that I also provided evidence of not just once, but twice that he was smiling in a picture with me. And just for safekeeping, I made sure to have a digital copy. Thank you, Mrs. McCullom, for all of the behind-the-scenes work you do for us, and allowing us to turn your office into a jungle gym, art studio, and a second home. I know she's probably scheming to find a way to get even with me right now. Finally, thank you to the class of 2018. Some of our journeys together began back in elementary school, while others waited for middle school or high school. Regardless the duration of our friendships together, thank you for all of the memories made along the way. These past years have been some of the most enriching years of our lives, but sometimes we have to remember where our roots began. Our high school story began like a good old Missouri storm, chaotic and unpredictable. We were one of the biggest classes with 286 freshmen, and we were definitely the most daunting class coming into the halls of HHS. We quickly learned that carrying our 20-pound book bags was much better than using our lockers. The high school and hallways were no place to talk between classes, and lunch trays were a ticket to humiliation if they were dropped. Our later years of high school were filled with projects, papers, tests, sporting events, activities, and especially late nights. Never will we forget all of the times that we were told to go in early to print off papers, only to find a line of teachers printing off theirs as well. We will never forget the endless waiting to be released from the sauna. And never will we cause an explosion in the chemistry lab because we learned to read directions, thanks to Miss Rosencrantz. In these years, we rose from freshmen and transformed into seniors. We have broke records, firmly stood out for what we believed in, built an everlasting monument, and set goals that will only be surpassed with future greatness. As I look amongst the crowd of my classmates, I see leaders and motivators ready to take their place in the world. Behind a chicken scratch signature, I see a doctor. Behind a sleepyhead in class, I see a creative mastermind. Behind the iPad and pencil, I see a NASA engineer. Behind the most argumentative person, I see a lawyer. Behind the instruments, I see a musical genius. Behind the guitar and the vest, I see a rock star. And behind the numerous fouls and broken records, I see an exceptional collegiate athlete and a lifelong friend. The students of this class are unique, talented, and shaped in their own ways by persistence. Throughout high school, we have found ourselves in the path that we want to take in life. We all have big dreams, goals, and aspirations, but I challenge the class of 2018 to continue to persist in that dream and never let it go. Deciding our focus in life can be easy and quite fun to imagine, but we cannot be swayed and dreaded the mile-high amount of time and effort it takes to get there. We do not forget the challenges of life are always present, wherever we go and whatever we do. Life will tell you no and force you to fail more times than not. But during those times of hopelessness, don't let life's challenges defeat you. As I quote Winston Churchill, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." Every fail and every challenge is an opportunity to intensify your abilities. Even if you find yourself at rock bottom, or even feeling like a hobo sometimes, rock bottom can be a solid foundation in which can be built upon. Giving up cannot be a choice when we are faced with these inevitable plateaus much steeper than we originally anticipated. Throughout life, we must be persistent to show bravery in the face of adversity. It is important to want things for yourself in life, to have goals and aspirations, but it is even more important to take the actions to achieve them. Most of our journeys will be unyielding and resistant. Overcome resistance with relentless persistence. Make the struggling worth it by persisting to the end. When fire is applied to a stone, it cracks. When persistence is applied to an obstacle, it gives in. From the persistence I have seen through the past years, I have been honored to be a part of our momentous accolades. I am beyond excitement of words to see what the future holds for the class of 2018. I hope that many of our paths will occasionally intersect to bring us back to our days as pirates. I wish you all the best of fortunes and the brightest of futures. Congratulations, graduates, on taking the next step into a new chapter of our lives. In closing, I could think of no better quote than Christopher Reeves, or better known as Superman. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, and then they seem improbable. And then, when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Our next student speaker is Nathan Luton. Nathan's parents are Steve and Michelle Luton. Nathan will be attending Missouri State University in the fall, majoring in biology pre-med. Nathan has earned the following scholarships: Missouri State University Presidential Scholarship, Elks Lodge Most Valuable Student Scholarship, Missouri State Elk Scholarship, National Wild Turkey Federation Scholarship, American Family Insurance Dreams Foundation Scholarship, BASF Scientific Scholarship, Hannah Wathen Memorial Scholarship, Tom and Becky Scholarship, Brent Essicar Memorial Scholarship, Evening Kiwanis Bill Weber Scholarship, FBLA Hannah Wathen Memorial Scholarship. Nathan has earned the following honors: summa cum laude, President's Education Award, College Prep Certificate, George Washington Carver Award, Hannibal Career and Technical Center Student of the Month, Hannibal High School Student of the Month, Hannibal High School Student of the Year, All District Choir, All State Show Choir, exemplary ratings on vocal solo at the 17-18 Misha District and State Music Festivals, Missouri Scholars Academy participant, Missouri Sophomore Pilgrimage participant, 16-17 Missouri-Arkansas Outstanding Lieutenant Governor Award for Key Club, 15-16, 17-18 Most Valuable Key Clubber Award, 17-18 Key Club Member of the Year, Future Business Leaders of America, first in public speaking at districts in 2016, second in healthcare administration and organizational leadership at districts 2017. Nathan has participated in the following clubs and sports: National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Natural Helpers Club, Key Club, Secretary 15-16, Missouri-Arkansas Division for Lieutenant Governor, Hannibal High School Class of 2018 President for 4 years, Pre-Med Professionals Club, Treasurer and President, Interact Club, Transformers Project Anti-Violence Education, Future Business Leaders of America Vice President and President, Student Council Member, Esponze Foreign Language Club, River City Review Show Choir, performed in the high school musical for 3 years and held a lead role the past 2 as Leaf Cunnybear in The Spelling Bee and as Prince Charming in Cinderella. Hannibal High School swim team for 3 years. He was a 3-year varsity letter recipient, a state qualifier for 3 years, and he holds the high school record in the 500 freestyle. He was also on the Hannibal High School golf team for 3 years, and he's a 2-time varsity letter recipient. It is my honor to introduce our second student speaker, Nathan Luton.
Well, it looks like we've made it. 13 years through the Hannibal Public School System, and now we sit here alongside our classmates for one last occasion. Once you walk across this stage and collect your diploma, you will never have to ask to use the restroom again. You will be allowed to go whenever you please without fear of hearing, "I don't know, can you?" You will never have to have a signed note by your parent in response to yesterday's absence. You will use your own voice to explain such events. Lastly, you will never have to eat another school lunch again. It may have taken 13 years to reach this point, but it's definitely been worth it. As for me, I like to look at books as lives, or our lives as books. Each journey we go on and every path we take becomes a chapter. Some chapters are longer than others. Some may be funny, others sad, but they all have the same story, the story of our life. I would have to say that everything we individually go through is what shapes these chapters and turns us into the people that we become. However, it is in high school we actually begin to become who we have always been meant to be. As kids, we go through tons of different phases. Phases like what our favorite color is, what our favorite food might be, and what we want to be when we grow up. For me, it was green, macaroni and cheese, and a pizza maker. I'm not kidding, I had a pizza making kit and everything. The macaroni and cheese I don't believe has changed, but everything else has. The experiences that I've been through, the people I've met, and the different classes I've encountered have really routed me toward my future self. Sure, in college we may change our minds a few times about what our major should be or what we want out of our lives, but our books have been started and the cover is all ready to go. Today, as everybody walks across this stage, this chapter in your life will close, and your journey here at Hannibal High School will come to an end. As you can see, these past 4 years have been quite the journey for me personally, and I have memories associated with my years here at Hannibal High School. I remember being a freshman and taking my first steps through the halls of the high school. I remember my first swim meet as a pirate and being able to hear my mother screaming while I was underwater. I remember the first state cut I made in the 500 freestyle. I remember my first time breaking the school record in that same event. I also remember the first phone call I received letting me know that the boys' swim program was canceled before my senior year. It's okay, I'm not bitter or anything. As I flipped through my chapter full of student involvement, I remember working alongside my friend and Mrs. McCullom, who is, by the way, the best class sponsor ever, to build amazing floats for every year's homecoming parade. And I also remember coming in second to Mrs. Rodman's group the past 3 years. My chapter of the friends I have come to make seems to be filled with the best of stories. Most vividly from this chapter, I remember sitting in Mrs. Broughton's room my sophomore year, listening to Shelby Nelson yell at me for stealing her speech about crayons, when in all truth, I think she's just mad that mine was more clever. Isn't that right, Shelby? It's okay, it's still kind of a touchy subject. I recall finding my voice in a chapter full of music. I remember stepping onto the stage for my first show choir competition, as well as falling off the stage, ripping my pants, and scarring my leg the first competition of this past season. I remember and deeply cherish the memory of being selected for the All-State Show Choir and the trip itself to Jefferson City with my fellow choir members, Mrs. Fuller and Mrs. Kurz, and Mrs. Kurz's vehicle known to us as the Black Bus. I remember my first audition for a musical my sophomore year, all the way through my final bow as Prince Charming this past fall, and all the practices and set constructions in between. From within my early mornings, I remember Mrs. Moon letting us come to her room instead of having to fight the crowd in the cafeteria, whenever I would actually get to school early enough to go in there. I remember being asked to do the morning announcements, which I accepted, not knowing that on the first day, I would in fact mess up the Pledge of Allegiance. But it's fine, it only happened one other time, so I guess you could say it could have been worse. Unfortunately, what they forgot to tell me, which had to have been somewhere in the fine print, is that the job also included Mr. Sampson and Mr. Nolan throwing paper wads at you while you were speaking to the school. For my chapter of service, I will always remember my years as a key clubber and as a Missouri-Arkansas district officer. I will remember the trips to Springfield for board meetings and the trips across the country to Atlanta, Georgia, and San Antonio, Texas, to attend international conventions where I met key clubbers from all over Central and North America. I will remember the service projects completed and all the time and laughs spent with our key club's amazing advisor, Miss Gamble, and our local Kiwanians. In my chapter of academics, I will remember the first B I ever got, which was in calculus this year, and I remember being so proud of myself for doing so. Sorry, Mr. Catalpa, but I still don't know what a derivative is. I will always remember coming to the school late at night to attempt to pull off some of our senior pranks, even though only a few of the 5 were successful. One of them being Mr. Sampson's personal favorite, where we filled his office with 300 balloons, some of which were filled with confetti and streamers. Future seniors, I recommend using more balloons. I will remember my friends, all the laughs, the tears, the stress, the lack of sleep, and the fun that went along with going to Hannibal High School. I will remember all of these things as they become pressed in between the pages of my ongoing book. These memories, different for everybody here, will all go down as a chapter of our own books, and beyond it will be many blank pages, pages ready for the next chapter of our lives, for more memories to come. One thing every author does is dedicate his or her book. My dedication page, as I'm sure everyone else here, is full of the names of people that I thank all the time for the things they've done for me. Thank you to each teacher I've ever had. I'm sorry if we did not always see eye to eye, but you helped me get to where I'm at today, and for that, I'm grateful. Thank you to our guidance counselors, especially Mrs. McCullom, for always willing to put things on hold so that I could pop in and talk about whatever I needed. Thank you to Miss Graves for being one of the wisest, most entertaining, and most inspirational people I've ever met. Thank you to Mrs. Ruhr, Mrs. Fuller, and Mrs. Kurz for being the ones to help me find my voice, and for never giving up on me even when I might have been being stubborn. Thank you to all of my friends, the ones sitting out here with me, the ones that are sitting out in the audience still supporting me, and to the ones that couldn't be here today but still support me in everything I do. And a special shout out to Fam Bam for always being there for me, listening to me when I need to complain, which might happen often, and for putting up with all the blank Snapchats that I send out. Thank you to my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins for being there for me and supporting me whenever you can. Lastly, thank you to my family, to my mom, dad, Austin, and Abby. Thank you for putting up with me all these years, through all the sass, the messy room, and the crankiness, because without you all behind me, I wouldn't be where I am today. Everything I have done my hardest to make you proud. All these people have significantly touched my life, whether they know it or not, and they will forever stay in my book. Throughout my 4 years here at school, I was blessed to have 2 years of anatomy classes with Miss Stacy Graves. She has a burning passion for human anatomy and for passing her knowledge on to those around her. She would often say in the middle of a lesson that what she was giving to us were these little pearls, pearls of knowledge to cherish that we take with us wherever we might end up. The best pearl I ever received was nothing she ever said directly to us, though. In her classroom, all around the walls, she has the handprints and quotes of the seniors that have all graduated from her class. On the wall right in front of where I sat were her handprints from when she first retired, and I often caught myself reading what she had written. When I found out that I would be speaking for you today, I knew that I had to share this pearl with you all. It goes, "To the dear ones. You have always been told that the world is your oyster. All you have to do is pry it open and remove the beautiful pearl. Newsflash, the world doesn't work like that. It is not your oyster, and it probably isn't even your clam. The world, your life, will be exactly what you make it. It will challenge you, sometimes make you cry, it will often fill you with wonder, and it will usually present the unexpected. Your life will be a journey. Be sure to wear your tennis shoes. With love and best wishes, Gravy, aka Miss Graves." I believe that this is a pearl is one that each and every one of us should take with us as we enter the next chapter of our lives. Nothing is going to be handed to you. You'll have to get out there and work for what you want if you want to be successful. Some of you I will never see again, and I wish you all the best. As you begin the next chapter in your lives, I want you to consider words from my Key Club District Administrator, Jan Sinclair, who unfortunately passed away in the middle of my term as a district officer. She impacted so many people with her life, including myself, and she really did make a difference. Her words could be found at the end of every email she sent, and it is the motto that I aspire to live my life by each and every day. Do the right thing, always be humble and kind, no regrets. My fellow classmates, there's one last thing that I believe everyone here, including myself, needs to hear out loud. There isn't just one way to be successful. It took me way longer than it should have to realize that it's okay to make sacrifices to do what you love to do. So I hope you can all realize that too. It's sad but true, but we're not always sure how many sequels, chapters, or even pages our book may have left. That is why it's always important to make sure that each page, each and every word in our book counts, because you never know when you may run out of ink. As the last word is written down and we close this chapter in our lives, there's nothing but blank pages ahead for us all. It's time for us to fully take control of our futures and to make sure that the chapters to come are full of memories and success. Make people want to read your book and hear your story. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the 143rd graduating class of Hannibal High School. At this time, it is my privilege to recognize all of the seniors' accomplishments during the 2017-2018 school year. Those graduates receiving awards and scholarships, please take your place on the track. During these scholarship recognitions, we encourage you to look at your commencement program for the specific scholarships and honors that each student has earned as his or her name is announced. Please hold your applause until all students have been recognized. Marissa Abbey, Roger Abbey, Atkins, Evan Allen, Leighton Allen, Corey Allensworth, Jean Anderson, Michelle Bales, Keaton Bartz, Lee Bouch, Alyssa Bishop, Gavin Booth, Britt Bouye, Luke Boyd, Emily Bramlett, Holly Bremer, Carter Brewer, Colton Brown, Desiree Brown, Lucas Brown, J.C. Bryant, Emilee Carleton, Austin Carroll, Sean Carroll, Tim Carter, Hannah Chase, Olivia Clark, Nathaniel Cleary, Mae Combs, Isabella Conley, Bailey Cooke, Delaney Cooke, Sydney Cooke, Matthew Craven, Nathan Craven, Meredith Curtis, Abbigale Daughtery, Brandon Dillman, Skylar Dyke, Chloe Ebers, Emily Edwards, Trinity Erskine, Gabe Falconer, John Fowler, Henley Foxall, Desiree Garcia, Caleb Greening, Paul Heidecker, Ellie Huddleston, Michaela Johnston, Bryce Kirby, Hannah Laws, Nathan Luton, Anna Maple, Andrea Martin, John Mattis, Shelbie Mays, Grace McIntosh, Logan McKinney, Donovan Mefford, Adam Millen, Tori Moore, Laney Morgan, Gabriella Motley, Carter Munch, Shelby Nelson, Ashlyn Nichols, Aiden Nichols, Andrew Oath, Haley Perry, Olivia Pfeiffer, Peyton Phillips, Madison Potter, Brenna Quinn, Gage Rethorn, Kailee Rickerson, Ayana Roberts, Isaac Robertson, James Rosenberg, Colton Sanders, Evan Sanders, Gabe Santee, Maya C., Austin Schultz, Clayton Sims, Jared St. Juliana, Seth Steinman, Shelby Stein, Madison Thamur, McKenna Turney, John Trinhale, Jordan Van Winkle, Wyatt Welder, Evan Wallace, Ryan Walters, Morgan Wells, Noah Whelan, Hannah Whitley, Caleb Wilson, Tori Wilson, Dell Whithouse. Congratulations to each of you on receiving these special honors. The accomplishments you are being recognized for have brought pride to your school, your family, and to yourself. The students before you have indicated to us that they will be going to obtain more education to prepare them for a career, immediately joining the workforce, or serving our country in the armed forces. Group 1, please stand. These students have indicated that they will be attending an institute of higher learning to prepare them for their careers. Please be seated. Group 2, please stand. These students have indicated that they will be going to work after graduation to begin their careers. Please be seated. Group 3, please stand. These students have indicated that they will be joining the armed forces to serve our great nation. Please be seated. Prior to awarding diplomas to this year's graduates, I do have a few thoughts that I would like the class of 2018 to consider. Congratulations to all of you seated on the field tonight. Your accomplishment is the culmination of a 13-year endeavor full of hard work and sacrifice. Congratulations to your parents and family members whom have helped you along the way, and to the faculty and staff of the Hannibal School District who have aided in your accomplishments. Tonight is the last time you will gather with your classmates as a student of Hannibal High School. Many of you have been waiting for this day for a long time, excited for the opportunity to venture into the world and take on new challenges. Whether you realize it or not, your entire educational experience has been focused on the goal of graduation. Many of you may recently have been hearing the question, what are your plans moving forward? Starting college, tech school, your career, or joining the military may be on your agenda as the next step. While the opportunities you have worked hard to prepare yourself for are plentiful, your work and learning are not complete. I'd like to read an excerpt from a letter written 50 years ago by Superintendent Seton Bonta to the graduates of the Hannibal High School class of 1968. We are living in an age when changes come quickly. This means that young people who are now leaving school and are about to enter into the world must be prepared to make frequent and quick adjustments to changes which may occur. The old and familiar process of evolution, which enabled the human being to adapt himself to change over a long period of time, must be speeded up, as we are required to make these adjustments with our brain rather than our body. Unless a person can change rapidly and adapt himself to the new requirements and new developments, he will be passed by the wayside. The first purpose of education is to encourage the desire for education within the individual. He should want to learn so that his mind will remain open and will continue to learn even after he leaves school. Back in 1968, Mr. Bonta's message to the graduate was accurate for the times. Well, Meredith Curtis, that's a great question you have posed. At this time, I should let Meredith and the other class officers know that in order to demonstrate some of the abilities of modern technology, I have cooperated with their parents to capture any relevant tweets they send out during tonight's ceremony. No need to look at your phone, seniors. For your convenience, it will be displayed on the video board. So, Meredith, to answer your question, the relevance of what Mr. Bonta said so many years ago is that his message is more accurate today than it has ever been. When thinking about the pace of change in technology advancements, career evolution, or other types of change in society, we in modern times would hardly consider the pace described in Mr. Bonta's 50-year-old letter to be fast. However, the rate at which these changes are taking place today in comparison are furiously fast. American author and computer scientist Ray Kurzweil has explained, every decade our overall rate of progress is doubling. We won't experience 100 years of progress in the 21st century. It will be more like 20,000 years of progress. Each generation of technology improves over the last, causing the rate of progress from version to version to speed up. Thus, the last statement read from the excerpt, regarding the importance of instilling desire in students to be lifelong learners is truer than it has ever been. Graduates, I cannot stress enough to you the importance of continuing to learn regardless of your path into the workforce, post-secondary education, or the military. You must be willing to constantly learn and evolve to find success. As you take on new challenges, you will run into hardships, obstacles, and tragedies. During times of struggle, it is easy to lose touch with the elation that is abundant tonight. To experience continued laughter in your life, I encourage you to surround yourself with positive people. Spend time building and maintaining constructive relationships with those all around you, family, friends, classmates, or colleagues. Nothing will bring you more laughter and joy than a positive relationship. Strive to become more encouraging in your daily life to those around you. Positive people enhance the lives of those they come in contact with. Yes, Miss Pfeiffer, while rare an occurrence, it has happened a few times. Don't try to emulate anyone else. Be yourself. But I encourage you to study the actions and behavior of others in order to learn from them. Adapt positive traits that will complement your unique personality and enhance your skill set. You will make mistakes. You might get fired. You might flunk a test. Mr. Luton, I see that caught your attention. And no, this would not be an appropriate time to ask to use the restroom. Mistakes are only worth making if you are willing to learn the lessons that accompany them. In the equation of life, the only variable that you can modify is yourself. So learn how to reflect on mistakes and grow. Ask yourself, what can I do differently? Grace, I see you are listening and already reflecting on your presentation this evening. And don't worry, your speech was just the right length. Class of 2018, as a graduate of Hannibal High School, always strive to become one of those people who will make a difference in the lives of every person you encounter every day you walk the earth. Realize that earning a diploma from HHS comes with a responsibility that is simply stated yet difficult to fulfill. Leave the world in a better state of being than it is today. Good luck, and may God bless you as you make our world and society a better place for your children and grandchildren. All right, Nathan, fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my honor and privilege to inform you that these 175 members of the class of 2018 have met the graduation requirements as set forth by the Missouri State Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and by the Board of Education of the Hannibal School District, including the senior class here tonight and 38 others who graduated earlier this year. 21,324 individuals have received Hannibal High School diplomas. At this time, I would like to recommend to the Board of Education and to Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Susan Johnson, that each of these candidates of the class of 2018 be awarded a diploma from Hannibal High School. Members of the Board of Education, I present to you Hannibal High School's class of 2018. Marissa Nadine Abbey. Roger Lee Abbey. Braden Alexander Adkins. Travis Lyle Ayu. Evan Isaiah Allen. Leighton Jeremiah Allen. Corey Mitchell Allensworth. Gene Anderson. Lavita Ann Baker. Michelle Ray Bales. Michaela Nicole Lynn Banks. Keaton Eugene Bartz. Haley Christine Bouch. Dalton Everett Beckett. Shavantrez Chiron Bell. Alyssa Noel Bishop. Jacob Michael Bono. Gavin James Booth. Britt Michael Bouye. Luke Andrew Boyd. Emily Brooke Bramlett. Holly Danette Brimmer. Carter Allen Brewer. Caitlin Renee Brooks. Colton Harding Brown. Deserea Michelle Brown. Lucas Riley Brown. John Colin Bryant. John Keith Buren. Joshua Clifford James Campbell. Emilee Jun Carleton. Austin Michael Carroll. Sean Emery Carroll. Timothy Ryan Carter. Morgan Marie Catani. Hannah Michelle Chase. Olivia Mae Clark. Nathaniel Wade Cleary. McKay Paul Combs. Isabella Marie Conley. Shelbie Lynne Conley. Shelton Lee Conley. Bailey Rayanne Cooke. Delaney Shea Cooke. Sydney Corrine Clara Cooke. Quentin Eugene Cooper. Colton Wayne Crable. Jeremy Todd Crane. Matthew Ray Craven. Nathan Clay Craven. Deserea Elizabeth Cullom. Addison Lea Cunningham. Meredith Jean Curtis. Hannah Paige Darling. Abbigale Ruth Lee Daughtery. Sierra LaShawn Davis. Tanner Gordon Davis. Brandon Lee Dillman. Tyler James Dorn Brawley. Skylar Brooke Dyke. Chloe Louise Ebers. Emilee Lauren Vincenza Edwards. Trinity Catherine Erskine. Gabriel Dallas Falconer. John Tanner Fowler. Henley Paige Foxall. Cheyenne Marie Freiberg. Deserea Rose Garcia. Carly Jo Gibbons. Alexander Dalton Gibbs. Nicholas Edward Glover. Caleb Andrew Greening. Tyler William Hatton. Dalton Andrew Haynes. Heidi Lynn Hazelton. Paul Frederick Heidecker III. Tanner Lewis Horn. Ellie Vera Kay Ryan Huddleston. Sydney Anne-Marie Hull. Montana Olivia Jacobson. Kailee Jane Johnson. Michaela Danielle Johnston. Bryce Christian Kirby. Caitlin Emily Krigbaum. Emilee Nicole Large. Dakota Russell Levine. Hannah Grace Laws. Chade Allen Liller. Dylan Keith Meisel. Andrea Martin. John Joseph Dean Mattis. Antoine Davis Maxwell. Terrell Jamal Maxwell. Shelbie Ann Mays. Evan J. McArthur. Odie Andrew McBride. Kylie Lynn McCausland. Logan Arthur McKinney. Savannah Renee McClendon. Donovan Sterling Mefford. Adam James Millen. Felicia Ann Mobley. Tori Lynn Moore. Lainey K. Morgan. Thomas Clay Morris. Gabriella Rose Motley. Carter Lee Munch. Kaylin Alexander Nelson. Shelby Lynn Nelson. Carly Paige Newland. Caleb Matthew Newland. Ashlyn Elizabeth Nichols. Aiden Daniel Nichols. John Tyler Niehoff. Andrew Michael Anthony Oath. Zach Joseph Ogden. Shelby Renee Patterson. Austin Michael Peace. Haley Jean Perry. Olivia Joe Pfeiffer. Peyton Andrew Phillips. Lauren Marie Pearsall. Madison Lee Potter. Malachi Rain Powell. Tanner Nicholas Price. Bruna Lynn Quinn. Juan Robagliato. Gage Carter Rethorn. Kailee Ann Rickerson. Kobe Derek Rickey. Ayana Danae Roberts. Clayton Joshua Levi Robertson. Isaac Glenn Robertson. Trenton Austin Rowland. James Robert Rosenberg. Mikel Jaquan Russell Williams. Colton Bradley Sanders. Evan Monroe Sanders. Gabriel William Santee. Jason Wayne Saxbury Jr. Maya Caroline C. Austin Bradley Schultz. Clayton Phillip Sims. Claire Elise Skinner. Sean Joseph Smith. Jared John Riley St. Juliana. Seth Logan Steinman. Shelby Elizabeth Stein. Mariah Leanne Strong. Matthew Alexander Stump. Davion Santonio Tate. Bryce Clayton Terrell. Madison Nicole Thamur. McKenna Elizabeth Turney. John Patrick Trinhale. Jordan Taylor Van Winkle. James Wyatt Welder. Colin Ray Wagner. Michael Corbin Wagner. Evan Christopher Wallace. Keanu Armand Wallace. Ryan Jean Stevie Walters. Morgan Elizabeth Wells. Noah Daniel Wayne Whelan. Hannah Nicole Whitley. Skylar Logan Whitaker. Abby Dale Willing. Caleb Andrew Wilson. Tori Sue Wilson. Shane Lee Wisdom. Jackson Lawler Wise. Dell James Whithouse. Marcalius T. Woodson. Grace Ann McIntosh. Nathan Robert Luton. Seniors, please stand. Seniors, you may now move your tassels. Congratulations and best of luck.
They go everywhere. Feel good. Yeah, this is good.
We're right behind him. Is that right?
These guys, you follow me.
Oh, they're just going to go straight down. I don't know. Didn't tell us what to do. Yeah, we didn't practice for this. What?